प्रणमामि अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। कृष्णं च वन्दे जगद्गुरुं। गुरुभ्यस्तद्गुरुभ्यश्च नमो वाकमधीमहि वृणीमहे च तत्राद्यौ दम्पती जगतां पती। Now, we would like to clarify something about the nature and the multiplicity of the Devatas. Sri Chakkilam Venkatesh again and again claims that all Devatas, specifically Rudra, Brahma and Vishnu, are exactly the same Devata. There are no multiple Devatas. And he goes so far as to say that the mantras ascribed to Vishnu actually refer to another Devata. For example, he says that the nRsiMha mantra, Ugram Veeram Mahavishnu, refers to Shiva, and Shuklam Bharadharam Vishnu refers to Ganapati or Vinayaka. That is so absurd. So we will see how it is absurd. Okay. So we will first of all listen to what Sri Chakkilam Venkatesh says about the nRsiMha mantra, the famous one called which starts with Ugram Veeram. I urge people not to chant this mantra unless initiated by a proper acharya. However, it is famous and Sri Chakkilam Venkatesh happily misinterprets it. Let us see how.
ఇది మనం ఇంకోటి రూపం ఎలా చూస్తామంటే మనకి బ్రహ్మ విష్ణు మహేశ్వరులు త్రిమూర్తులు వీళ్ళు ఎవరు అవుతారు? వీళ్ళు ఎవరు ఫామ్స్? ఈ మూడు ఫామ్స్ ఒకటే పరమాత్మదే. ఏకో దేవః సర్వభూతేషు గూఢః సర్వవ్యాపి సర్వభూతాంతరాత్మ. ఈ అన్ని ఫామ్స్ ఒక పరమాత్మదే. ఈ మూడు ఫామ్స్ ఒక పరమాత్మదే అన్నప్పుడు స్పెసిఫికల్లీ మహేశ్వర అంటే రుద్ర అంటే శివుడు యొక్క పాలన సంహారం. సో శివాస్ ప్రాధాన్యత ఇస్ మోస్ట్లీ ఇన్ డిస్ట్రక్షన్. సో ఆ డిస్ట్రక్షన్ అప్పుడు అక్కడ ఉగ్రంగానే ఉంటుంది. సో దీనికి రిలేటింగ్ ఏంటంటే nRsiMha-tapanIya ఉపనిషద్ అని అథర్వవేదం వస్తుంది. అక్కడ మీరు షాక్ అవుతారు. ఇక్కడ వీళ్ళు ఇంత భేదం భక్తులలో క్రియేట్ చేశారు కానీ అక్కడ ఉపనిషత్ శాస్త్రం క్లియర్గా చెప్పేది ఏంటంటే నరసింహ అవతారాన్ని నీలలోహిత అని పేరు పడ్డారు. నీలలోహిత అనేది రుద్రుడి పేరు. అంటే ఎవరైతే మెడ దగ్గర నీలంగా ఉంటుందో బ్లూ కలర్ ఉంటుంది. ఆ పదం శివుడికి వాడిన పదం నరసింహస్వామికి వాడారు ఏంటి అని ఎంక్వైరీ చేస్తే అక్కడ ఉమాపతి అని కూడా డిస్క్రిప్షన్ ఇచ్చారు.
మళ్ళీ ఇక్కడ శివుడిని.
సో శాస్త్రమే అభేదం చెప్పినప్పుడు నేనెవరు అభేదం చెప్పడానికి, వైష్ణవులు ఎవరు భేదం చెప్పడానికి? మనం శాస్త్రం.
All right. So, if you have listened carefully, what he has said that is that Brahma, Vishnu and Maheshwara are exactly the same deity, and the Shastra by which he refers the nRsiMha-pUrva-tApinI, that Shastra supposedly says that nRsiMha is actually Neela Lohita, and it means that his kantha, the neck region, he indicated with his hand. Neck region is Neela, blue, and maybe Lohita, which he did not explain. And he says that it is Umapati only. That's what the Shastra says as per Chakkilam Venkatesh. Is it really the case? Does nRsiMha-tapanIyopaniShad really say that Vishnu is equal to Rudra? Let us examine the nRsiMha-tapanIyopaniShad. Okay. So I have it opened here. So the Upanishad starts with Prajapati meditating and receiving this mantra, Ugram Veeram and so on. And it goes through some other issues and arrives at this mantra portion. This is the portion which is particularly of interest because that's what he refers to. So you see, what is this mantra? Ritam satyam param brahma purusham krishna pingalam urdhvaretam virupaksham shankaram neela lohitam. You see, here is the word neela lohitam. Okay, and it proceeds further. Umapatih pashupatih pinakihyamitadhyutih ishanas sarva vidyanam ishvaras sarva bhutanam brahmadhipatir brahmanodhipatir. That's very tense. Okay, so from this, can we say that the mantra refers to Shiva who has a blue neck? Is it really the case? Let us look at the words again. So, first of all, Yatam Satyam Param Brahma Purusham Krishna Pingalam. Alright. Now, here itself there is Krishna Pingalam. So, what it means is black, and Krishna means black, and Pingalam means reddish, brownish hue. It could refer to the eyes. When you are angry, your eyes are red and the pupils are black. And Urdhvaretam Virupaksham. that's how it says. Virupaksham means not just two eyes, generally means deformed eyes. So that would be the third eye. By the way, nRsiMha in many iconographies is shown with a third eye, just like Rudra, as Rudra is popularly shown. Does it mean that they are exactly the same deity? No. Because suppose I wear shirt and pant tomorrow, will I become Chakkilam Venkatesh? Or let Chakkilam Venkatesh wear Uttariya and dhoti tomorrow. Will he become Vishwasa? No, it's not like that. A person can have multiple roles. Is there any rule that the Paramatma of this universe, who incarnated as Rama, who incarnated as Krishna, who incarnated as Matsya, Kurma, Varaha, he can't handle destruction. He can't take a form which is close to Shiva's form. That is not at all the case. So, in fact, there is a popular story where viShNu, on the request of a certain Divyasuri, an Alvar, or a prominent Bhakta of some sort, he appeared in the form of Shiva. And that event is still commemorated in some local Utsava, so that Vaishnavas, who ordinarily do not wear Vibhuti, actually wear Vibhuti that day. Because the God, Bhagwan, Vishnu, appears in the form of Rudra. So, first of all, there is no rule that one Devata, as per his philosophy only, we accept that the Devas can take any form. They can come in the form of your Acharya, in the form of your father, mother, guru, or opponent, or a dog, or a donkey, or anything like that. They can choose to come in any form. So, can't they come in the form of another deity? Of course, it would. It is definitely possible, and it is surprising how Sri Chakkilam Venkatesh misleads people about this point. Now, coming back to the words used here, nRkesari Vigraham is another Pathabheda. So, Chakkilam Venkatesh is in the habit of picking verses. If he picks them correctly and does not forge them, he picks verses which are iffy, which have Pathabhedas and so on. Now, here, anyway, let us look at Ritam Satyam Param Brahma, Purusham Krishna Pingalam, Urdhvaretam Virupaksham, Shankaram Neela Lohitam. Umapatih Pashupatih Pinaki Hyamitadyutihi, Ishana Sarvidyanam, Ishvara Sarvabhutanam, Brahmadipatihi. Now, if you see the words Umapatihi, Pashupatihi, Pinaki, Hyamitadyutihi, alright, all these are in the masculine gender, Punglinga, alright, and if that is taken to be in Pullinga, they are clearly in Pullinga, there is no doubt about it. Anyone with Sanskrit grammar knowledge can verify that. However, the words Virupaksham, Shankaram, Neela Lohitam, if they are in Pullinga, which they likely are, then they are in Dvitiya Vibhakti, the second case. Whereas Umapatihi, Pashupatihi, Pinaki, Ishanaha, Ishvaraha, they are all in Prathama Vibhakti. So, in Kannada we would say Umapatiyu, Pashupatiyu, Pinakiyu, Amitadyutiyu, Shankaranannu, Virupakshanannu, Neelalohitanannu. That's what the mantra says. Now, Madhvas, how do they handle it? It's very logical. They will say that Umapati, Pashupati, Pinaki, Amitadyuti, the husband of Uma, Shiva, he is meditating on, he is praying to Virupaksha, Shankara, Neelalohita, the Paramapurusha, nRsiMha, nRkesari Vigraha. Alright? So, if you go to Ahobila, even today you will find that Shankara is meditating in a certain Tirtha. Shankara is meditating in the Linga form and paying obeisances to nRsiMha there. Alright? So, it is not anything extraordinary. It is as per this interpretation, it is only saying that Umapatihi, Shankara, is meditating on the Neelohita Krishnapingala Nrkesari Vigraha nRsiMha. So that's what it does. Alright. Now, is that the only interpretation? No, there is another interpretation possible. So, Ritam Satyam Param Brahma Purusham Krishnapingalam Murdhvaretam Virupaksham Shankaram Neelalohitam. One can claim that no, these are not masculine gender words. They are actually neuter gender words, Napumsakalinga Shabdaha. And they are in Prathama Vibhakti only. And therefore, Umapatihi, Pashupatihi, Pinaki, Hyamitadyutihi, Ishanaha, Ishvaraha also refer to the same Brahma, Param Brahma, who is Virupaksham, who is Shankaram, who is Neelalohitam, and so on. Now, does it mean that does it become convenient for Sri Chakkilam venkaTesh? No, it does not. How? Because Param Brahma, as per their philosophy, is Nirguna, Nirakara, no name, no form, nothing. Then how is it Virupaksham? So it can't be Param Brahma, as in Nirguna Brahma. So that is very inconvenient for Sri Chakkilam venkaTesh. And further, one might object, okay, what about Umapati? How can Umapati and Shankaram be the same as Param Brahma, Nirkesari Vigraham? Well, that's very simple to answer. Because Shankaram only means peacemaking. Sham, Karam. Sham means Mangalam, Karam means making. Auspiciousness creating. That's all it says. Neelalohitam. So we have no objection with nRsiMha in his organs such as eyes being Neelalohita or Krishna Pingala. We in fact endorse it, happily endorse it. He is a Bhayanaka Rupa. Black and blue he may appear, even purple or violet. So no objection there. And what about Umapatihi, if you ask? Well, if Bhagavan Vishnu can appear as Shankara, can't Lakshmi appear as Uma? So when Bhagavan takes a raudra form, wouldn't Lakshmi feel free to acquire a similar terrible form as Uma, the wife of Rudra, Pashupati? Of course, it's certainly possible. So that is another interpretation. Yet another thing would be that this Vidya, this Upasana Vidya, it encourages its votaries, its initiates, to meditate on Nrkesari Vigraha in this form, so that he has a Pinaka where Lakshmi has taken the Uma form and so on. So as we have seen, there is no evidence, no compulsion that one must interpret this verse in the form which Sri Chakkilam venkaTesh proposes. There are easily other interpretations available. Umapatihi, Pashupatihi, Pinaki, Hyamitadyutihi, Ishanaha, Ishvaraha, Shankaram Virupaksham Urdhvaretam Purusham Param Brahma Nrkesari Vigraham Dhyayati. Very simple. So, please don't be misled by Sri Chakkilam venkaTesh. The nRsiMha-tapanIyopaniShad says no such thing, that Shiva has taken nRsiMha form. Vishnu has only taken nRsiMha form, and the same Upanishad has Mahalakshmi Yajuh. So, it doesn't have any Uma Yajuh or anything. It has Mahalakshmi Yajuh only. It refers to Vishnu only, who has taken a raudra form, which is closer to the popular Maheshwara Shiva. And to further emphasize this point, I will show you nArAyaNa-sUktam. Yatam Satyam Param Brahma Purusham Krishnapingalam Urdhvaretam Virupaksham. This portion is entirely identical to what you would find in the nArAyaNopanishad. Yatam Satyam Param Brahma Purusham Krishnapingalam Urdhvaretam Virupaksham Vishwarupaya Vai Namo Namaha. This is nArAyaNa-sukta of Taittiriya Aranyaka. Alright. And this middle portion is new to this Upanishad. It is not from anywhere else. However, Ishanas sarva vidyanam Ishvara sarva bhutanam Brahmadipatir Brahmanodhipatir Brahma Shivo me astu Sada Shivom is also from Taittiriya Aranyaka only. So what this Upanishad does is that it says that Sri Vishnu, who has taken Narayana, who has taken nRsiMha form, appears in Rudra form, even just looking at the mantras chosen. So, Ritam Satyam Param Brahma Purusham Krishna Pingalam refers to Narayana from nArAyaNa-sUkta of Taittiriya-aranyaka, and Ishana Sarva Vidyanam Ishvara Sarvabhutanam refers to the Rudra of the same Taittiriya-aranyaka. So there are two entities or one entity taking another entity's form. There is no confusion whatsoever. And furthermore, there is a curious thing. If you look at shAnkara-bhAShya, now Shankaracharya did not compose Bhashya on this Upanishad. The only works reliably ascribable to Shankaracharya are the Brahma Sutra Bhashya, the Upanishad Bhashyas, and the Gita Bhashya. By Upanishad Bhashyas, I don't mean nRsiMha-pUrva-tApinI I mean the Shopanishads, which are popularly studied by Shankara cult followers. But however, hundreds and hundreds of works are ascribed to Shankaracharya, and one of them is the Bhashya on this nRsiMha-pUrva-tApinI. And what does it say? It says that evam praguktam akaram nrkesarinyeva janiyat. So whatever has been mentioned here, Ritam Satyam Param Brahma Purusham Krishna Pingalam, it refers, one should meditate on the Nrkesari form only, nRsiMha form only, not the Shiva Shankara form. No, that's what is opined in this work ascribed to Shankara. Atra kechit praguktamakaram mantravarnat pruthakttvena upasyam achakshate. Some people say that according to the mantra, words used in the mantra, such as Shankaram, Umapatihi, Pashupatihi, and so on, that another form is to be meditated upon. However, he refutes that. Tad ayuktam. No, that is not proper. That's what he says. Evam tarhi upakramopasamharabhyam nRsiMha Brahma Vidyaikyam avagatam badhyate. Because it doesn't fit to the context. And nRsiMha pada vyakyanavasare nRsiMha eva asit parameshwara iti nRsimheshwarayoho samanadhikaranyam avagatam badhyate. So further down in this Upanishad, the Upanishad says that nRsiMha eva asit parameshwara. So in the opinion of even this commentator, who is called Shankaracharya, or who is identified with Adi Shankaracharya, not just any Shankaracharya, he says that the form to be meditated here is nRsiMha only, not Shankara, because of two reasons, one of which I have already explained. Another is that in a further statement, the Upanishad says nRsiMha eva asit parameshwara. Now, if first of all, the entity to be meditated by these words was Shiva, then the other later sentence, nRsiMha eva asit parameshwara, would not be as efficacious or meaningful. So that's the opinion there. So as we have seen, one need not suffer from any confusion about nRsiMha being a Vishnu avatara. Now, are there multiple devatas or is there a single devata? We will consider it in the next video. Namaste.